Hello, this is Mesos Oram, and welcome to Understanding S.F.M.L. Today, we will be learning about font and text. The font function open from file opens a given font from the path of the input specified. If it can't find that file, it will return false, and we should output an error before moving on. The font function setSmooth is supposed to smooth the font by blurring the pixels together, but I always set it to false. We can initialize our text with a font, a string, and a character size. And here I'm just setting the text to the center of the screen. If we open the debug menu, then we can see that our string is output. The font function getInfoFamily will just return the font family. If we open the debug menu, we can see that the family is Arial. The font function getKerning will show us how much overlap there is between any two input characters dependent on their character size. For Arial, there seems to be 0 kerning between any two characters. The font function getLineSpacing will show us how many pixels are between each line of text depending on our character size. If we open the debug menu, we can see that there are 28 pixels between this line and this line. The font function getUnderlinePosition will tell us approximately how many pixels below our text a underline should be, depending on our character size. If we open the debug menu, our underline will be approximately 3.42 pixels below our text. Meanwhile, the font function getUnderlineThickness will tell us the approximate vertical thickness of our underline in pixels. The font function hasGlyph tells us whether our font has a specified glyph or not. If we open the debug menu, we can see that our font does have the ampersand. The text function setStyle will set the style of our text, whether it be bold, italic, or otherwise. If we set the style to regular, it will just stay how it was. If we set the style to bold, all of our letters will be bold. If we set the style to italic, all of our characters will be italic. We may also underline our text, or put a line through our text using strike through. We may use two different styles if we put a vertical bar between the two. If we open the debug menu, we can see that our text is both bold and italic. We may also use all these styles together. The text function setFont will set our font based on input, just like when we were initializing. Meanwhile, the text function getFont will get the font that our text is holding. This line right here is redundant, but it is just for show. The text function findCharacterPosition will find the specified character's position in world coordinates based upon its index. If we open the debug menu, we can see that the O in world is at 318x by 154.5y. The text function setCharacterSize will set the size of our characters in our text based upon our input, but also dependent on our font. If we open the debug menu, we can see that all of our text is smaller. Meanwhile, the text function getCharacterSize just returns our character size. If we open the debug menu, we can see that our character size is still 24. The text function setLetterSpacing sets a factor of space between each letter in our text based upon our input. If we open the debug menu, we can see that there's quite a bit of space between each letter in our text. Meanwhile, the text function getLetterSpacing will return that factor, which by default is just 1. So if we open the debug menu, we get a character spacing of 1. The text function setLineSpacing sets a factor of space between each line of text based upon our input. So if we open the debug menu, we can see that our text is squished together. Meanwhile, the text function getLineSpacing will just return that same factor, which has a default of 1. So if we open the debug menu, we can see that the line spacing is just 1. With the text function setString, we can set our text just like how we did when we initialized our text. If we open the debug menu, we can see that our text has changed. Finally, the text function getString will return the string that we've input. And if we open the debug menu, we can see that it says, "Hello world, how do you do?" Thank you for joining me today. If you did, then please like, comment, and subscribe, and have a great day.